The Spiritual Parasites. Did you guys know that the phrase out-of-body experience was coined by a man named Robert Monroe? Robert Allen Monroe was a radio broadcasting executive who became known for his research into altered states of consciousness and for founding the Monroe Institute. In his 1971 book, Journeys Out of the Body, he is credited with coining the term out-of-body experience. He is one of the first well-known researchers into exploring altered states of consciousness in other dimensions. Some of the methods he used when it comes to exploring other dimensions is astral projection, sensory deprivation, and something called sleep learning. Sleep learning is an attempt to convey information to a sleeping person, typically by a sound recording to them while they sleep. According to Robert Monroe's own account, while experimenting with sleep learning in 1958, Monroe experienced an unusual phenomena, which he described as sensations of paralysis and vibrations accompanied by a bright light that appeared to be shining on him from a shallow angle. Monroe recorded his account in his 1971 book, Journeys Out of the Body, and went on to become a prominent researcher in the field of human consciousness. Monroe later authored 2 more books on his experiments with OBE, Far Journeys in 1985 and Ultimate Journey in 1994. While experimenting with out-of-body experiences, Robert Monroe encountered interdimensional entities. Reportedly, the light beings told Monroe that we are energy sources for other dimensional parasites. All the turmoil in this world aims to exploit the loosh we emanate. Loosh is a term applied to energy produced by human beings and animals that other entities use to feed from. It is also used to refer to the energy that is produced by suffering that entities feed. Loosh is a word coined by Robert Monroe in his books. These findings from having an out-of-body experience by Monroe sent Monroe into a 2-week deep depression. With the current acceleration of the electronic era, which promotes transhumanism, an array of artificial intelligence technology, both overtly and covertly, the exploitation to extract negative emotional energy from humanity is at an all-time high. Our world is being deluged with negative mind control programming and AI broadcasts that target the negative ego filters that have infiltrated every fiber of society. And what these ego filters are some of the 7 deadliest sins, such as sloth, which is laziness, gluttony, pride, lust, greed, envy, and wrath. In fact, this is one of the reasons why social media has so many users in the world, because of these 7 ego filters. This in part opened up a whole new world to negative emotional energy. Lust, gluttony, greed, sloth, wrath, envy, and pride destroys the human spirit. This is in order to elicit extremely negative emotions and painful trauma from the constant bombardment of harmful images, behaviors, and actions. These programs encourage cruelty, brutality, and violence, which are being massively superimposed upon humanity and earthly kingdoms at this time. Extremely charged negative emotional energy such as that achieved during satanic ritual abuse contains hormonal adrenaline cascades that run through the cellular energy within the human body, blood, and brain. Under such intense extremes of painful suffering, the blood and flesh becomes charged with heightened molecular content, which is highly prized by these dark wicked spirits and satanic forces. This is the reason they delight in torture, suicide, and killings of human beings, especially the innocent souls unable to protect themselves like children, which is one of the reasons negativity is promoted throughout the world. These entities told Monroe the greater the suffering, the more life force is spewed out of our bodies, the tastier the energy meal for our creators, these light beings. These experiences corresponds to reports of some of the world's oldest scriptures, such as the Vedas. There we read that the universe is upheld by sacrifice, and that all who are living in this world are the sacrificers. There is none living who does not perform yaga, which they call sacrifice. The body is created for sacrifice and arises out of sacrifice and changes according to sacrifice. I believe these light beings told Monroe half truth and half lies. It is true that these entities feed off negative emotional energy and want to cause as much suffering as possible. In fact, Monroe's findings corresponds with what I've learned from Dr. Jerry Marzinski, the psychotherapist that I've interviewed on my channel. And according to his own experience, he learned that interdimensional parasitic entities were harassing his schizophrenic patients, trying to get these schizophrenics to produce as much negative emotional energy as possible. Hence why the voices of schizophrenics are always negative, telling them to do bad things, hurt themselves, and hurt others. So I believe the light beings told the truth about one thing, that they do feed off negative emotional energy, and they cause much of the suffering in this world. In fact, even the Bible states in Ephesians that our battle is not flesh and blood, but with spiritual wickedness in high places. But what they did lie about is that the world was only created for sacrifice. They also lied about being the creators. They are not the creators. Throughout history, these wicked spirits that live in the high places have convinced humanity to worship them and offer them sacrifices. Much of the commandments in scripture are there to protect us from these evil entities and their influence. Things like divination, astral projection, and out-of-body experiences are not something we all should attempt on doing. Trying to explore other dimensions and getting in contact with these evil entities is going to be a snare to our soul. The Most High, like the loving Father He is, put commandments in the scriptures on how to avoid these evil entities, such as not messing with the devil's devices, mind-altering substances, divinations, witchcraft, sorcery. And I want to end this video off with a verse from the Book of Jubilees, chapter 12, verse 20. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits, who have dominion over the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from you, my God, and establish me and my seed forever, that we go not astray from henceforth and forevermore. The Son of the Most High, the Messiah, Jesus Christ, gave us dominion over these spirits, that they should not have any kind of influence over our lives. The Bible calls us to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. We should not be ignorant of their existence. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it was very fruitful for you. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you'd like to support this channel, I do have a Patreon. The link for it is in the bio. Thank you so much for all the patrons that are joining and supporting. It really means a lot to me. Please like, share, and comment, and we are out.